Welcome to another episode of Pitchside podcast. Like the famous DJ would say, boys and girls. Welcome.
Pitchside.
Le sharp, Bafit. It is
No,
hot
the
today.
sharp one, huh?
Yeah,
Very
get sharp. Let me Red Bull myself before I start because I want us to get straight to the point, right?
Okay.
I also need Red Bull.
Yes, please. We need wings. I want us to get straight to the point. We look at the previous fixture against Cape Town City. First of all, let's speak about the number of changes that happened. What's your opinion on that? Remembering that after the loss at Polokwane City, we had 11 changes. Now in the second game, just after the game at Polokwane City, we have 9 changes.
It was bound to happen when after a loss, you needed a big team to react. And we spoke about it, I think, in the last episode that losing a match in a big team, it's not a nice feeling.
Yeah.
Because you can really spoil everything that you have done in the past, and everything that you have done towards the matches that you were playing. But I was just happy with the performance. I was just happy with how they reacted. And you can tell those are the angry players. They were not happy with themselves.
Yeah.
They reacted because they wanted to change the feeling of the change room. There's nothing that is so... It's refreshing players than winning football match. I'm sure they feel different now. They feel like they can go again and win football matches simply because of that one win. We did mention that we cannot talk about the position here in this club.
No.
But we can speak about the number of chances you create and the number of actions you continue to make in front of the big box.
Yeah.
And against Cape Town City, you saw a team that is capable of doing that. You spoke about this is the same team that can cause a lot of upset when you go to Champions League. And against Polokwane, we didn't see that. But against Cape Town City, we saw the team of Mamelodi Sundowns caliber, the team that we always know, we always want to go watch.
And as for you, Mauta, as you watch the game, put yourself in the position where you are one of the players that are also being introduced as part of the sub stay 9. What's the conversations going to be like, especially knowing that it's a pressure game that needs to bounce, and also you're playing against a team that has your number. Cape Town City has Sundowns' number because it's been a while since Mamelodi Sundowns has won against Cape Town City.
Yeah, I think the most important thing and the most basic thing that had to happen in the Cape Town City game was for whoever plays to bounce back. Was for whoever plays to show that Mamelodi Sundowns is a big team and it's a team that wins games and they win games convincingly. Because coming from a setback where they lost, I'm sure it distracted the team, it distracted whoever was in that dressing room. I'm sure it wasn't a nice dressing room. I mean, there was a video that I saw after the game, they were singing, but you could see the hurt, you could see the disappointment
in their faces
and the anger in their faces. But thankfully, they had to get back to where they belong quicker because games are coming thick and fast. You know, they played weekend and they played during the week. So the players that were going to be selected to play in that Cape Town City game had to show that, this is Mamelodi Sundowns. Whoever played, whoever was chosen, they had to show. Whoever came on, whoever was in the bench, whoever was in the stands, it was time now to support the 11 that are going to start and for them to win and win convincingly.
Yeah.
And, like we always say, there's big games for big players. That was the game. The Cape Town City was a big game.
It was a big game,
Because they're coming from a loss and Amatota Makulu stood up. I always say, Peter came in with 2 goals. Which were massive, which were needed for him, for the team, and for everyone else, just to calm the situation down. But I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I don't want to go back to the Polokwane game, but there's certain games. I think I've seen about 2 or 3 games of Mamelodi Sundowns where I think the players go into games thinking they're going to win. That's the biggest mistake they could ever make. And in that Polokwane game, I think it was one of those. The long trip, Kapas, this players to know, but they like you. They always have big earphones and they don't talk to anyone in the bus. So now it's even worse because if Mutaga can go Instagram,
Bubble like
3 hours fella Mutanta like ubona Mutanta press like what do you like him?
Yeah.
You know,
go play.
so yeah, I'm not saying they do that, but I'm just saying mentally I don't think they were prepared for that game. But it's one thing that Coach Mangoba should instill in the team, that Mamelodi Sundowns needs to win each and every game, and you can't go into games thinking you've already won or thinking you are going to win. But you still need to play.
Yeah, but also I just want to look at it from a different side. Let's be honest. We play the game. You often than not, you do have such games in a season where everything just fall apart, not understanding how. And I remember when we were still here, I remember getting 5, first game of the league. We got 5 from Bloemfontein Celtics.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it?
It was 5, my brah.
I
0.
remember, but yeah,
You remember?
5-0.
Lucas Morepe. So you do have such games where like everything just fall apart, and but then Sundowns then started becoming better defensively, because then you didn't concede too many goals, but you were able to score goals.
Yeah.
And then we forgot about having a bad game at Mamelodi Sundowns, because we normally don't have. And I think it was one of those games where, thank God it happened early into the season, you know, and it happened in that manner where then you don't want to go back to that, because then if it happened later in the season, you still have 2, 3 games, 4 games to play for you to win the league. So it's better to happen there where you can be able to recover. And I think, like Trumper said, like in the last episode, we spoke about the importance of them bouncing back, and which they did. And it now goes back to individuals that stood out. You know, sometimes you need certain individual to play above themselves to help the team to rise up. And I think Peter came in. This is a player that came on 2 minutes to go against Polokwane City. He started the game, he scored 2. Ribeiro wasn't present, he was suspended. He comes again, then it shows the importance of him being on the pitch. Now you have a little bit of confidence within the performance of individuals, building up to a sold-out game against Kaizer Chiefs. Another sold-out game within the space of 2 months playing this team.
Yeah.
How then do you approach this game?
I think you don't have to change. In my opinion, I think you give the players that played another run. We all sitting here, we know the importance of revisiting the last match memories and how you did certain movement, how you moved, how you received the ball in between the line. You want to improve, or you maybe want to perfect that. You want to change, maybe let me receive from this side, this guy was this side, and all those, they are still fresh in your mind. And as coaches, they need to understand that part, that players need a level of continuity for them to perform better in matches. That's a big match. A big match needs players who played before, and you continue to go to the next match, and that will give you, the action that they are there in your system. All I know is, in a match of that nature, you need a sober mind from players, and you can't go there when you're emotional. You need to know prior to the match that I'm confident that I'm going to play, and the coaches must make sure that they equipped you enough to tell you that you're going to play that match. And so I mustn't be on my edge of the seat to say I might not, So because when you go there, that will play in your mind, because it's, you know what I mean. So I think from the match here, Cape Town City, should be standard to know that, guys, whoever's doing well must be on the field. And I always preach that I'm against this thing of we're refreshing, we're resting, whoever, whenever. I've been that player. Now in my system, I always knew that
you'll rest when you retire.
Yeah, one season I won 50 games. I don't know whether I was selfish, but I won 50 games. If you just as a coach, if you rest, how can I step over? Who gets fresh? Can I pass? So allow. Regen get the draft match. After match, return the icing. And then we go home and we eat. Some of us, we still sleep early. I mean, it's the season. So I don't allow me to.
They look at your stats, but hey, your heartbeat is too much.
Yeah, it's
That
very
had
hard to
this
see.
game.
So what are Naringas Dalibol this year in this new age? Because I was breathing with using my mouth. I can't breathe with my nose. Means the one's gonna track that. I know keeper. The reason why your heart is going that is because you're not using your mouth. Your
nose.
When I know lo shadi heart rate ne di lo puncher.
Lo puncher.
Le pressela ele.
Well, Naringas fail this stats.
Yeah, but I think the Cape Town City game showed that Mamelodi Sundowns has a team, and it has a team that is capable of playing well, and a team that is capable of scoring goals, and a team that is capable of winning, which is important. And they need to take that into the coming game, which is a very, very big game. You know, it's a game that I don't want to be a little bit out of order and say the game's going to define the season, because it's a cup game.
It is a cup game.
And you play cup games to win the cup. And if you don't win the cup, now you're waiting. I mean, whatever date your final, and you're sitting at home and watching your peers play, and you're at Mamelodi Sundowns. That can happen. So that's the stress that's coming with this Kaizer Chiefs game. But Sundowns has enough, man, to deal with that. They have enough players to know and understand your Peter, your Lucas, your whoever plays, you know. But they I think they have the mentality to always remember the good times. They had the best of times at this club, and against Kaizer Chiefs, they only need to remember the good times. And they beat them before.
Not long ago.
Not long ago. So that's what they need to do. They need to remember the good times, and once they do that and they remember those times, then it's just gonna be for them to play well. Lucas.
Cara box,
Ribeiro.
Yeah. I usually lace.
No.
He's so calm.
Every time.
He's so calm.
No, but it's the difficult ball to score. Wait, you can't use power.
No.
Because
that's why you put
you can't.
When I know lawyer ka lazy.
No, you can't. So why plug? Because then
bafunela di paramedic the row 95
because Bonela need like ka power.
Yeah,
because that
why controller fail
like that.
So I swing it.
Why swing why bounce off it?
But the local angle.
Yeah.
Weird.
Why bounce off it?
And a mola because it's so close, the cross is innerly pace. So how can you transfer that pace to the ball? And once you hit the target, it goes in.
Because it's like the same power.
Penalty spot.
Yeah, it is close.
Inside.
You
need to get inside. Because the ball, if the ball came a little bit slower, then you need to follow through talent.
But can we agree that is a difficult technique to use?
It's very difficult.
Especially with that ball bounce.
That's why he is such a special
That's
player.
why it's only limited to left-footed player. Like
no,
you understand what I'm saying?
I would have done the same.
I know,
we've
because
seen
I was
that.
usually laced. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen
they're
that.
delayed,
Go Mel Park. As one of the goals that I've seen in the PSL.
Yeah.
We go Mel Park or Kora Vets.
Or the one that came from.
By spin, everybody were my level. I was there to watch the match. Lose.
Champions League finish.
Give us Stankovic.
That was Latan.
Yeah, the reason I go Budisa is because I saw how the ball came. Mudawu with that ball, it looks good for TV, for people who are watching football.
Yeah.
For now, I still say that is a bad ball. For now, if he was passing me,
okay,
I'm using my quality.
I understand.
So with that one is a bad ball. For Lenale Atsiba user the outside, like you say, you're gonna bounce it, and that one is a difficult goal to score.
You know when it comes to us.
Yeah.
Because I was doing that game, and I remember saying off it helps that because it's him. Odlala, he played beach football.
Okay.
So beach football bounces anyhow.
So you're anticipating the bounce
anticipation
anyway.
now, it comes naturally because then you don't have to think inside the box. It's a player, the way that he scored, it showed that he wasn't thinking. It's instincts. So the problem when it gets to those positions, the reason why I'm mesa is because you want to think. And now you must understand you need to get into those areas as often as possible for you to stop thinking. So then how we are once in 2-3 games, you're going to think because you're not used to those areas. That's why when a defender because you don't get there as a defender.
Okay.
You understand
But it goes back to what you say, Gore. If it's about all shoka that technique, you're gonna use it, and it goes back to background how you played football.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm still gonna use myself as an example. That one is a bad ball, guys.
We know we are delays.
I don't know how I'm gonna.
Other people there, you know what they do.
Yeah.
Hitler like this. They do this.
Yeah, about
and then you feed
Yeah,
that ball is really fast.
Yeah, because then he locked it like okay level the ball, he straight.
Yeah.
That's all you need because you just transferring that power.
But it's fine. I'm gonna open a finishing school soon.
I would love to see that one.
Guys, are the opponents because to be honest, it is a big team. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that and act like there's no quality players from that side that can cause us a problem. I watched the game when they played against Magezi. Great comeback from them. Shows the character that they have within the team this season. Yeah. And also they showed against us when they scored a little bit early into the game when we played them at the FNB Stadium. It was tough for us to come back, but we also showed the character that we never questioned in this club. So then you have, and also like I think the coach Nabi, I think maybe he was also thinking of the Saturday game because of the starting lineup you had Villagaz, you had Shabalala, you have Ngobo. Those are youngsters that never really season A abazo starting. You had Serino on the bench. That made such a huge difference coming in. So then we go into this game knowing that Miguel will be back because of that suspension. So we know the lineup that's going to play. Okay, the only person that won't be available is Castillo because of the injury. Yeah. So it might be Blom in that midfield. Then how then do you cancel the threat that we saw, that we know, and also they do have the 12 men that we can't ignore, and they're playing at home.
Yeah, well, that 12 men plays a huge role when you're in that stadium. But Modise, I will easily say, I'll go back to the point that I mentioned. Emotional, and you can't change position. If you saw the match, the 2-1 go FNB, the mistake we did was to rush moments. And once we jump a center, we want to bypass quickly. And Sundowns looks good. Habale in charge of the ball. When sometimes they stand on the ball, they pass that 2-meter pass. They look good, and that takes a lot out of the opposition because the one player once our impatient press out that pass. So Sundowns in a mindset where we want to drag this thing. Make sure we don't give Chiefs the ball. Because if we have ball, we allow our ball break. Then that's where Castena Chivaviro allow that space behind. And Ninim Bakan Magala Dupree. Dupree is dangerous player with that run. You'll think he runs, but he's got a run of. So you don't allow them to have those moments. So by doing that, it means you must make sure that you have players that in that hostile pressure match, they've got the nerves. Okay, we're gonna step on the ball. We're gonna use these short passes to drag them to. So the more they're gonna be impatient out of moments, the more you're gonna get them. Because the crowd is instantly.
And they like that. They like it when it's a break for Chiefs because it's like a. Chaos, and then after a shot, then the crowd comes. But I'm glad Mtobi is back.
Solid.
Mvala is back, and Mvala likes that Chivaviro fight.
As long as Mvala end up like a bandit chibo, are sharp. Daman against a bandit.
Toby likes that.
He's a different player.
He likes that Chivaviro fight. He likes that because the nippy small ones they are quick for him, but that big guy Toby likes them. So that threat is already nullified. But then the other thing we should guard against and we should be very mindful of is that it's a cup game. Cup games have their own heartbeat. Yeah, own heartbeat. And you know, that's why I got the cup on all the upsets and whatnot. But I don't like upsets. I don't like small teams beating big teams.
Yeah.
Because it sets a bad precedent. But this is a big game and two big teams. Well, I don't know big based on what, but
It is a big team.
I know because of the supporters, but
No,
No, man,
no,
it
it's
is a
a
big
big
team.
team.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
but big teams win trophies.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave that for another day. But it's a cup game. It has its own heartbeat, and Sundowns should be wary of that.
Yeah.
And because of the amount of games that Sundowns would want to play, I don't think they would want to drag this into
To the extra
time
time.
and
They don't want
penalties and all. Because Sundowns has enough to win the game in the 90 minutes.
Yeah.
I know Chiefs played well, but please, they came back from 2-0 down against them, against a team
That should have won the game, actually.
that attacked only twice and scored twice, and Chiefs attacked however many times. They scored an equalizer in the 60th or 70th minute,
70
and they
something,
take jerseys off. After that, you are on a yellow card. You can't do anything anymore. So
But
you're
it-
restricting yourself. At least when you score a winner.
Yeah.
When you score 3-2, then take off
that
the
is
game.
a-
But
is a-
2-2.
but
He's
you
a
know,
young
a
kid.
game is a
Allow
game
him.
of emotion.
Yeah,
As a
I
young
know.
kid, I'm
I
for
know,
benefit of a doubt.
I know, and I hope he has learned, because that
Yeah.
comes with growth and
Yeah.
Yeah.
maturity. You know, when he grows, he'll be a bit more intelligent. But we're playing a team.
I
that-
forgot to take off my jerseys when I scored during my playing days.
I can not look at this Uga.
Win, Anja. You only take off your jersey when you score a win.
No,
But draw.
2-2.
Guys.
No, it's.
Mara
it's
sale
just
ka
me.
lebala.
But
Yeah,
Kupo,
I understand. It's,
you
it's a small
know, also
ball.
like what I also want to point out that Hlompo spoke about.
Yeah.
All of us played against Chiefs, go FNB, and fortunately for me, I've never played a Chiefs that was not winning trophies.
Yeah.
When I played against Chiefs, it was a Chiefs that every other season would win something. But also, like, one thing I've realized as well was why I don't remember losing many a games go FNB. It was because the arrogancy that I walked in go that tunnel. Yeah, wara whatever. Yeah. So and Hubabonsa is like you said, comes back to, okay, we're gonna pass each other. Bona by a break. Chiefs has always been a
breaker.
counter-attacking team.
Yeah.
You know, a transitional team. It has never been, no, unless they 2-0 up and then you see those passes. But then I even remember the season that we won our first league.
Yeah,
we went there and we won 1-0.
1-0, yeah.
We stepped on the ball. Guys, it was a sold-out affair. We stepped on the ball. We quieted the crowd down, right? And I think it's one of those situations because of now the fans believe that they do have the team that is capable of winning a trophy, not the league, but a trophy. And this is
the trophy.
this is the trophy that they're looking for. And they know that if they beat Sundowns, that momentum, you know. And I think it's so important what you say in Klombo, because of then our midfielders looking back at the game that we played them at FNB Stadium. We're playing so many long balls.
Yes.
So we wanted people to break because we had Tashik, with Ribeiro and Reyners. So we were playing too many of these long balls, right? And then I remember, like, I could see after 4 or 5 of them, like, okay, this is a game plan. But I'm saying we're resorting now, because we want to create momentum. You're resorting to a default setting. What's the default setting of Mamelodi Sundowns? Is to starve the opponents the ball. And I think if we go into that game, a type of a game like this of this magnitude, we need to starve them the ball. We're starving the ball, the crowd now becomes restless. And once the crowd becomes restless, they have so many youngsters that I've realized they've got so many youngsters that are good, but not defensively.
No.
Banale trigger tsa press ali one. Midfielder tsa bona bo Mati bo Blom. They want to press alone. Then you
Mart is the one who wants.
Yes, and then that's your only option. And now you can bypass that midfield. And once you bypass that midfield, because Kaizer Chiefs doesn't have your Tenashe Ngomashe, doesn't have your Katsande anymore. I understand, and that was the biggest strength before. But now they don't have that type of a player. Castillo's not there, so they don't have like a really, really defensive player. So now you force them to come out of the defensive zone. Ribeiro, man, just behind.
But he forced them to which pass?
Hey,
Ke ntho ke buang ka yona,
some person
gore-
men coming.
Ah,
Men, what men coming?
Yeah. Ke 2 meters ke bolelang ka
Yes.
tsona. And that will allow you
Okay,
gore
but
o be in
I always
control.
hate it when a player tells me there's men coming. O ka re nkile ka dlala ka ke free. Pass me the ball.
A nya ke ntho.
Oh, some put some.
Ra le gole so ke ra gole go file.
Pass. So
Mara wa o ntshosa o mpotsa gore ke mmone
I think it's one of those games, and Mauta, I remember like even when we were playing for a different team, we played against them, and it was such a huge game. I think it was my first really a derby game of a soul that I think we played at Ellis Park.
Yeah.
We won the game in the tunnel, early 2 Nalmaut, because I'm in the tunnel, and then I remember him saying, Jeffrey joke.
Yeah. Ke tlo dile ka yena, yeah.
The late.
Yeah.
And then he responded. Before Nagi respond.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he said. Then I
And
remember
that,
okay,
you
cool.
gore lo mototsi.
Yeah, then Kim Totes.
Yeah.
And then I remember like I had a full day. But it's the confidence that I got from a tunnel. I already came with the confidence already, but in that tunnel, once you start looking at the opposition's faces, you can see they scared.
Gore abasho
Yeah. And that's what we need. We have capable players. It comes back to Mama with the saying. We've got capable players. Players that when you see on the tunnel, and I think we need to get back to Seriti Sele Sernan Lesona Sele. And then I think the game against Cape Town City, it didn't show us, it reminded us as students how good Sundowns
is important to your change room. Players don't just get the confidence outside there.
Yeah.
You need to feel wanted. You need to feel like you're part of this.
Yeah.
And as a player, you go there and you give your best. And once only conning, so what's gonna happen?
Yeah, you're overthinking the game.
You're overthinking the game.
Yeah.
And they always say the prepared mind will go there and what display until you be prepared. How see go see shock about certain things. Performance.
Yeah.
But what I saw Call of Tus is the players that were sure what they were doing.
What are we doing?
And every goal, 8 that match, you can see that it was intentional.
Yeah.
Pass,
Yeah.
receive. I gore movement do utlile ra ibona say receive like Mauda. It was something that we planned, and it came out like that.
Yeah.
So when you go to a FNB, the same thing must happen. Players need to know that is an important game that they must win. They must take the club to the semi-final.
Hallelujah.
But that one, it doesn't just come. You're not going to be given that one.
Yeah, you
because
gotta
you
work.
play.
You
You
have
have
to fight.
to.
You have
work.
to
You
fight
have
for
to-
it, yeah.
The second balls have to be won. The force issues if they're not moments.
Yeah.
Because it's a cup game. He said it like it's got its own breath. It's like you even on that edge. Whoever takes his chance wins the match. Whoever scores that first goal, you might see a 1-0 match. But be that person. Put yourself in those positions, as you said. Ribeiro is putting himself in that position to score.
Yeah.
As a player, I might get a second ball. Sometimes people who go for taps in. You'll find out that guy who said, let me take a chance. Maybe KK will scaffold
Ikawela mo,
it.
yeah,
Ikawela
yeah.
mo. But it's you putting yourself in that moment.
Yeah.
So you go there with the mentality of saying we're going to win,
Yes, sir.
regardless.
Mauta, your last point?
I think the thing that I saw or see with the current Mamelodi Sundowns team is that, especially with the changes, they had 11 changes. Ning, they had 9. The players need to take that upon themselves. Or
Whoever plays.
when I play,
Yeah, but Akibi only had changes.
I don't want to coach anagano man because when you play and then coach or rest that team, hey, where is my creativity going to come from?
Yeah.
No, he needs to play.
Yeah.
But
Because
because
to
of
be
the
personal.
yeah, because of the coach wants to explain a routine like today this. But now there's 9 changes, 11 changes. It shows the players themselves are not
Grabbing it.
yeah, they need to
But
grab that
ink.
thing, and then when they think of the changes, then they will think, hey, it's not gonna be the same. Mamelodi. I sat on the bench for a whole season. Kishebeletse CBD. What's about Bafana Balene Badiranjo?
I was there.
Just
Huh?
nearly
You were there?
I was
nearly
there.
point.
See, huh?
Never sick.
I was there.
Yeah,
Crazy.
correct. Like even when we were doing analysis and in coaching, and then Redu together and the coach were pointed out. Yeah, you see the pressing here, you see the run here and whatnot. Those boys were doing it.
Yeah.
And I sat on the bench thinking to myself, if I play, I need to be like that.
Yeah, you need to do all those things. Yeah.
You know, but now these boys are. I think they accept.
I'm on the bench.
Yeah, I might be on the bench.
Yeah.
I might get my chance whenever because now there's this rotation. Right now the CBD this season rotation. There was no rotation. Rest what the whole season.
Yeah.
But because they were doing well, they won this club cups, and after that went to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
That's the Mamelodi Sundowns that we want. Even the previous seasons, we knew Eriki Cheke Sundowns. I know Keke is there. I know T is there. You know, I think now the changes. I'm not saying but it's just something that I feel it's a bit disruptive, especially to momentum and
Too much.
whatever.
I'm not a big fan of that thing.
And I also like when I say it's just to conquer what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's disruptive to a team that is not rebuilding.
Yeah.
Because we're not rebuilding.
Yeah.
We're a successful team,
Yeah.
you know? And I think at some point, I think the technical team will get it right. I just hope that they will get it, because we want them to get it right, because then we want come of the end of the
They
season
should. They
be
will.
able to celebrate with them. And I didn't know, like I went to the dressing room intentionally, just wanted to feel the energy, Amajit. The energy is the energy that I was expecting. Everybody's in smiles, everybody's in high spirit. And that's what that's what I like. And for the fact that I felt that, I'm very, very confident of the game over the weekend in terms of the results. So yeah, man. So we're looking forward to the game. It's a sold-out affair, and I think the gates are opening at 2. So we're encouraging people to come a little bit early, because I mean, guys, we always delay this game. The previous
don't
one
want
was
them
delayed.
to
And you can delay. Please come early into the stadium.
But like I said last point, the best Mamelodi Sundowns 11.
Yeah.
And yes, by saying that, also Ariwenga jersey. This is our 3rd kit. It's launching on Saturday.
Nice one.
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, man. I think also might add to the success of the team.
It's white, it's pure.
It's a hlompo. But no motho yo a nka ene wa
Nna
team.
re ka se kgone ho raloka ka white. Re robala fatshe.
Yeah.
Tla lena le tswa le tlina le slide
So
tag le
to the Sundowns fans, I mean, look out for the jersey. It's getting launched soon, so they must go and buy. Go Puma stores or whatever where you get the replicas from.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Very
man.
nice.
Guys, thank you very much for today, and we're hoping to have a chat again, do a recap of the game and see what the results are.
Yep. Thank you, Modise.
Yes, sir. To the fans and the supporters, don't forget to subscribe and like. This is Masandawana, Pitchside Podcast, and we out.